start into this week's webinar. So the training I want to do this week is predominantly on how to really grow your business to the numbers that you want to do. So whether if you want to make 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 your business, and how that translates into strategy, and how your strategy translates into tactics in order to achieve that. Okay. And this is something I done with recently in a workshop. Put some time into this spreadsheet. So this might look very basic to a lot of people, but it's something that you know, is quite important to every business, and it's something that a lot of businesses tend to not have. It's something that we would do on a weekly basis in our company. We spend time reviewing this, making sure we're on track to hit our revenue targets, on track to hit our profit targets, in order for us to have a successful quarter and a successful year. And without having a solid plan in how you're going to achieve your numbers, you're really just shooting in the dark. You don't know where you're going, and you're very sporadic in your business. So these would be the fundamentals in business that you need to have in order to grow your company. And this is going to be quite heavy for some people, because this is just all about the numbers. And for some of you guys on here, you're probably going to tune into this and you're going to be looking for some sort of magic wand, or something that's really easy to do. But the fundamentals of business is numbers, because that's what you're looking to do at the end of the day. You're looking to make money, you're looking to turn a profit, and be a successful company, and that all boils back down to numbers. So if some of you guys find this a bit heavy in what I'm going to go through, try stick with me on it. I am recording this at the moment, so I can send this out to people thereafter, so you can have a look at it and go over it again in your own time and pace, and to try and edit things in order to suit you. So what I'm going to show you here this evening is I'm going to show you how to work out the strategy for your business in order to allow it to scale and hit the revenue targets that you want to hit. Okay. And I'm just going to take an example company, and then from that company I'm going to work out exactly what needs to happen in the back of a funnel on the marketing side to drive the salary, and to drive the gross profit and the net profit, to allow you to hit the numbers you want to hit that year. Okay, so without further ado, so first thing we're looking to do is, I've built this spreadsheet around a limited company. You can do this for a sole trader as well, but for this example I've done it for a limited company that tends to be, who this would work for best. And what I have here with this spreadsheet here is, this is where we put in some of the key data, the key edits, and then this will translate into strategy and tactics throughout these other tabs down here. Okay, so this these few cells here are the only ones that we should really be editing. Okay, and once we edit these, a lot of our strategy and tactics will translate into these other tabs down below. Okay, so let's say I have a company, and the gross profit, so the amount of money that company makes minus the cost it takes to deliver that product or service. So you take away the cost of any of the goods. Let's say that's $500,000. Okay, let's say it's 480,000. And what we want to try and figure out is, in order for you to achieve that 480,000, what needs to happen throughout the funnel. And this can, you can break this down if you want to do 100,000, if you want to do 50,000, if you want to do 200,000. It's just like, all you have to do is change the numbers in this, and it'll translate into all these other tabs down here. So you have the KPI spreadsheet. This is exactly what numbers your business needs to be doing on a monthly basis. I have this all worked out here with your salaries and overhead. So roughly what you should be splitting them out towards. This is a good guiding principles to work off. The marketing side of things, how much you should be spending on digital marketing in order to grow the business. Again, some fundamentals, some good guiding principles here. the marketing channels you can use. So I've left this quite blank and broad because I'm going to fill it in for this particular type of business and really just talk you through it. And then your action items, what you need to do in order to achieve that desired income that you want. So guys, have we got any people on the call whose business might be doing over, let's say, 200,000 or 300,000? Just to give me an idea of what sort of businesses we have. Give me a yes in the chat box. Okay, so we have a few businesses that are doing, okay, so between 300, 500,000. Okay, so we've a healthy mixture of businesses. And would we have many businesses that are doing, let's say, less than 100,000? Just to give me an idea of, you know, what sort of caliber we have on the call. Okay, so we have a few doing under 100,000 as well. Okay. Okay, so what I might do is I'm going to do this for the bigger numbers first. Let's say for 500,000 odd, and then I'll break that back down to maybe a smaller business, and we might just pull up someone's business as an example, just to see what they should be doing and how to scale out their business. Okay. So for example, for this business here, okay, we're looking to get the gross profit, and the gross profit of this company is 480,000. So this is all the cost in the business minus the cost of the products it takes to deliver that. Okay, so if you buy in goods to deliver your service, you minus all that, and if you buy in any services to deliver your product or service, then you take them away. So this is the gross profit that you will be left with. Okay, so you have 480,000. Now, if you want to make 100,000 off that, whatever your desired salary is, you put that in there. If you want to make 100,000 a year, this is your edit. You'll put that in there. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want a good healthy company. So a good healthy company should be looking to make 20% of their gross profit. So with this here, all we have done is we've taken 20% of our 480,000, and that's given us 96,000. That would be considered quite a healthy company. If you're anything between 15 and 20%, you'd be considered quite a healthy company. If you're around 10%, you're in around break even. If you're down at 5%, you could be considered a very poor company, that the business is on life support and you need to make some changes in it. Okay. So what we want to do then is what's the average employee salary. So, you know, if you're, depending on the type of company you have, I just put in here 29,000. If you're a more highly skilled sector, this could be up at 45, 50,000. So 29,000 is just a basic number to work off for this example. Okay. Then the average gross profit per customer, or the lifetime value of the customer. So what is the lifetime value of the customer that you have within your company? How much do you make off them? Is it 50 euro, 100 euro, 500 euro? So let's say, for example, this person here, we make 500 euro off each customer. Okay, that's the lifetime value of that customer. That's the average gross profit of the company, of that customer. And now what we want to figure out here is the average conversion rate. Okay, and so what the average conversion rate is, so for every, let's say, 100 quotes that we send out, we might convert 20 of them. So we have a 20% conversion rate. Okay, so let's say if we send out 10 quotes and we convert 5 of them, then we have a 50% conversion rate. So what we want to use this for is to see how many leads we need as a business. Okay, so 20% tends to be a good business, good conversion rate to work off, for a lot of service-based businesses, especially if you're up kind of south of the 500, 600, 700 mark, where people will be shopping around. They'll do a bit of pricing. If you're like less than 100 euro, your conversion rate is probably a lot higher because people may not shop around as much, and it might just tend to go at you. But obviously, the higher the price, the less your conversion rate, but then you've a lot bigger margin to make off that customer. Okay. So we now have the 480,000 worked out. We want to make 100,000 salary. I'm leaving out the VAT, so let's just exclude the VAT for now. Our target profit that we want our company to make is 96,000, and our average employee salary is 29,000. Average gross profit per customer is 500, and we convert 1 in every 5 people. Okay, so for every 5 quotes I send out, I'm going to convert 1 of them into a sale. Okay, so now I have all this data in here, and now this is going to spit out some metrics in this KPI spreadsheet. But what I did up here first is, because all businesses are different and they tend to be seasonal, I'm putting in a percentage in each month of what the business should be doing. Okay, so at the end of the year, we'll have completed 100% of our business. And for each month of the year, we will do a certain percentage of that 100%. So for some businesses, you could be very seasonal, and the first 6 months of your year could be when you do, 70% of your business. You might only do 30% of your business in the last 6 months. You might be completely dead in January and February, while coming up to the Christmas months might be your peak months. Whereas some other businesses, spring and summer might be their peak months, and quarter 1 and quarter 4 might be your quietest months. That's when you're dead. So for this particular example, I made it somewhat the same for all the months, the percentages that you're doing each and every month. Okay, so now that we have this data, we know the seasonality of the business, how much in sales we should be making every single month. Okay, we know the gross profit we should be making, we know the salary, we know the target profit we want our company to make, in order to be a healthy, profitable company that we can sell on for 5 times that. If we want to sell our business for $500,000, we need to be trying to work to make a minimum 100,000 net profit per year. Depending on the type of business it is, but that'd be your minimum. Your average employee salary, gross profit per customer, and average conversion rate. Okay, so from here we are now come across our KPI spreadsheet, and this is going to tell us what we need to be doing. Okay, so in January, so we need to do 480,000 in gross profit sales per year. Okay, and if the average gross profit per customer is 500 euro, how many leads do we need per year if we're to do that many? Okay, how many leads do we need in the entire year in order to get 480,000? So all we do is we divide the 500 into 480,000 to see how many leads we need, and then multiply that out by our conversion rate. So for the whole year we need 4,800 leads, and that will substitute down into 960 sales. Okay, at the end of the year that will substitute down into 960 sales. So the percentage that we do each and every month is in our next row, and then that will bring us back down to our gross profit. So if we, in January, we do 8.33% of our sales, that will be equal to 39,000. So for January we need to bring in 400 odd leads, 399.84, and we need to make about 80 sales, so 79.97. Then for February we'll do 8.33% for our sales again. So obviously this is a few commas short. So we 40,000 sales, we 400 leads we need to bring in, and 80 sales. March we're going to do 13%, so we're going to do 62,000 in gross profit. We need to bring in 624 leads, and if we bring in 624 leads, then we're going to do 124 sales. Okay, and so on. So April we do 77%, which will be 33,600 in gross profit, 336 leads, 67 sales per month. And this works its way out for the rest of the months, okay? And then by the end of the year, it should all add up down here. So we need to do 479,984 in sales, so roughly 480,000. We need to nearly 4,800 leads, and that will result in 960 odd sales. And that's pretty much what you need in your business. You need to notice exactly what your business needs to be doing on a monthly basis. When you're at these sort of figures, you really need to have this dialed down to a weekly basis as well. So you need to know exactly what you need to be achieving on a weekly basis. So you'll be breaking down your January into the 4 weeks, February into 4 weeks, March into 4 weeks, and so on. Okay. So what we might want to do then is, okay, in order to achieve them leads or them sales, what needs to happen in your funnel? How are you going to get them leads or sales in? Okay. So let's take let's go to our marketing spreadsheet, okay? So the gross profit target we need is 480,000. And the average profit per customer is 500. So we need 960 sales. And our conversion rate is 20%. We need 4,800 leads in order to get that 480,000, which would give us a marketing budget of 24,000. Now, you're probably asking, where the hell am I after getting this marketing budget from? So what this marketing budget is going to tell us, okay, is if we go back to our key edits, I have put in 5% of our gross profit is our marketing budget. Now, how much you spend on marketing tends to depend on the type of business you have. But you know, this is a good place to start. This is to see where you need to be at in order to get the numbers you want, okay? So what I've done here is I said what we will do is of that 480,000 gross profit, we'll spend 180,000 on overheads, which could be your office, petrol, diesel, electricity. You could spend 180,000 on salaries, okay? 24,000 on marketing. 96,000 will be your net profit for the company, which will leave 480,000. So that's our gross profit. So the 480,000 broken down is 96,000 profit. We're given 5% to our marketing, so 24,000, and then the rest we're pretty much splitting between overheads and salaries. And you know, again, depending on the type of business you have, you know, I know for a lot of the business I look into, that's what it does be roughly when you cut away all the crap within the business. Okay, so when we go into our marketing, then we can now see, okay, if I need to get 4,800 leads in my business, okay, and that will result in 960 sales, that means I can spend €5 per lead, which will equal to 24,000 in marketing spend. Okay, so for I can go to Google, I can go to Facebook, I can go to wherever it is, and if I'm willing to spend €5 to get one lead, okay, in order to get this one lead, I'll spend 24,000 on marketing. I get 4,800 leads, which will result in 960 sales. Okay, and that's the way you need to work out your digital marketing funnel. You need to trace it all back down to these fundamental numbers to see what do you need to do in your funnel in order to achieve the desired gross profit you want in your company. And this is keeping things at a basic level. You know, some guys might look at this and say, oh, he's completely wrong, but I'm trying to keep things somewhat basic, you know, so you guys can really understand the fundamentals it's going to take to get your business to a desirable number that's going to allow you to really scale it, okay? So €5 is our CPA KPIs, our cost per acquisition key performance indicator. We don't want to spend any more than €5 to acquire a lead. If we do, well then we won't be able to acquire the 4,800 leads, which will mean we'll get less than 960 sales, which will mean we'll get less than our 480,000 gross profit, okay? Now, let's say I change this. Let's say I go back and I say, well, we actually make 1,000, I actually seen someone put up to make 1,200 is the average order value of their customer. So let's say it's 1,200. Let's change that. Okay. So now let's see what's going to change. And let's say you convert 1 in 4 people, so it's not 25, so it's not 20%, we convert 25%, 1 in 4, okay? Now let's see what happens. And we leave this at 480,000, we leave this at 100,000, we still are the salary at 100,000, our net profit in the company at in around 100,000, 96,000, and we leave our employee salary at that as well, just to keep things nice and simple. So now how do things change? So now we actually need 1,600 leads per year, okay? And we need 400 sales. So how does that translate back down? So we still need to be doing the same revenue targets, okay? But our leads and our sales per month are going to change. So our leads, we now need 133 leads per month, 133, 208, 112, 133, 133, and then that boils down to 33 sales, 52, 58. So we're converting 1 in 4 here. Our leads to sales, leads to sales, leads to sales is 1 is to 4. And so how does this translate back down into our marketing then? Okay, so back down into our marketing, our average gross profit per customer is now 1,200. The sales required is 400. Conversion rate is 25%. We now only need 1,600 leads. So if we divide our 1,600 leads into our budget of marketing for 24,000, we can now afford to spend €15 to acquire these leads. Because we need less leads, we can afford to spend that bit more in order to acquire them in the first place. Okay, so guys, do you get where I'm coming from with all this? Are you following it? Because I know it's quite heavy on numbers. So if you have any questions on this, or you want me to go back over anything, please shout. Because this will be, quite important that you understand this for your business if you really want to grow it. So the next thing you're going to be asking yourself is, okay, how the hell am I going to get them 1,600 leads? Where am I going to get them from? Where do I start? Okay, and so I'm going to take 3 sort of fundamental channels, marketing channels. So we've SEO, AdWords, Facebook. Then we've all these other ones over here on the right, that we're just going to move out of the way. So let's see. Okay. So for now, if we're just to say SEO, okay. So if I need to, let's say for this, for example, I need to get 1,600 leads. If I go back to our KPI spreadsheet, I need to be getting, on average, if I just add up all these, I need to be getting 133 leads per month to get that many sales. Okay, so I need to be getting 133 leads per month in order to get that. So let's work this out in our marketing channel for SEO. So let's get rid of these out of the way for 2 secs. Okay, so for SEO we need to get, let's see, we need to get, let me just grab a piece of paper so I can write this down. So we need to get an average of 33 sales per month, and we need to get this from 133 leads. So to keep things nice and simple, how are we going to work this out? How are we going to do this in SEO? Okay, so at the top of our funnel, we have to come out with 33 sales. Okay, and on 33 sales, we need to come out with 133 leads. Okay, so where do we get 133 leads? Okay, So if we were to think of it in SEO, if we were ranking number 1, 2 or 3 for different keywords, where does our 133 leads come from? So if we were to say of the people that comes on our website, if we get 1 in 10 of them will fill out the inquiry form, okay? So if we were to say equals that multiply by 10, so we need to get 1,330 qualified clicks to our website every month. If we get 1,330 qualified clicks, well then we'll get 133 leads, which means we'll get 33 sales per month. And that's how we work it out, okay? So 1,330 clicks will be equal to 133 leads, which will be equal to 33 sales. And in order to achieve that, you can go on to Google and you can see what keywords can deliver about that much in traffic. So depending on where you're positioned in the Google search results, you'd figure this out. So position, let's have a quick look here. So the CTR of Google search results. Okay, so click-through rate of the top 3 positions, 52, 48, 23%. So the average between of all the clicks that come through. Let's see how accurate is that compared to other ones. Yeah, that doesn't seem right. Okay, so 18, 10, and 7. So let's say if we got our keywords ranked at the top of Google for our different keywords, okay? So let's say for this one here, 18. So let's round this off and say 20%. The number 1 position in Google will get 20% of clicks, just to keep things simple. So that means in order to get these clicks, okay, to get them 20% of clicks, you have to that multiply by 20. Keyword volume. So what you have to do is you have to find keywords that can deliver you 26,600 clicks. That sort of search volume, okay? And if you rank number 1 for all these combination of keywords, that would deliver you 1,330 clicks, which will deliver you 133 leads, which will deliver you 33 sales, okay? And that's one channel that you can use to grow your business, okay? So that's your SEO channel. So in order to get the 33 sales, to get the 133 leads, to get the 1,330 clicks, you need to go after keyword volumes of 26,600 and you need to rank up at the top of Google first. And you do that by you going into Google keywords, and you see is it even possible, okay? So your Google Keyword Planner. Whoops, wrong one. Let's make me sign into my account. So we want to search a volume. So let's say we want to target a keyword for, I don't know, Irish vacations, one of the sectors that we're in. Let's say Ireland vacations. United States, get this keyword search volume. And we get a few keyword ideas. So we can see here, this one here will bring us 9,900. Okay. So let's see, can we get a few other ideas? So throughout the different stages in the year. So for this keyword alone, 18,100. So it averages out with 9,900 searches per month, okay? And so we need to get 26,000. So pretty much I would need 3 keywords. I would need to be ranked #1 in Google for 3 keywords similar to this in order to drive my 26,000 in clicks. Thereabouts, okay? And that's the way you look at it. Like, in order to drive this, where do I need to be ranked in Google to allow that to happen? Okay, so let's say, and this would be more of a long-term approach. So for your SEO, we'd be saying, you know, our SEO, you'd be given this 1 year, say 1 to 2 years. That's being realistic before you start seeing results. Now let's say if we go after AdWords. AdWords is almost identical to SEO, okay? So if you want to drive an AdWords, if you want to drive 33 sales, 133 leads, 1,330 clicks, it's pretty much the exact same. So all you do in this is you would actually target these keywords here. So you'd pay Google for them, okay? So in this sense here, if we wanted to rank, you know, pay Google for these keywords, we know, going back to the data that we've already done, the marketing data, we're willing to spend €15 per lead in AdWords. €15. Okay, so let's just work that out in our marketing channels. Where are we going? So we're willing to spend here on the leads, we're willing to spend €15. So if we're willing to spend €15 per lead, how much are we willing to spend per click? Well, for every 10 clicks, we get 1 lead. So if we just divide this by 10, we are willing to tell Google, hey Google, I will give you €1.50 for every person you send to my website. Because I know for every 10 people you send to my website, I'm going to get 1 lead. And I know then for every 4 leads that you give me, I'm going to get 1 sale. Okay, and that's how you break it all out. Okay, so we have and this here then will probably cost you, your per sale is going to cost you €60. But you don't mind because you're making €1,000. Okay, and that's exactly why, like, if let's see what, you know, in our AdWords, this is one of our AdWords accounts, and just to give you an idea, you know, I don't be just spouting on about this sort of stuff. Last year, for one of our campaigns, we give this a second to load. To see how much did we spend. I think it's quite important in this day and age. It's someone else can actually stand behind. So in this account here, we spent 113,000. Okay, and for some reason that actually is very small because it should be, I don't know why. I know this account here has actually spent close to 200,000. Boom, boom, boom. Anyways, not a big deal. Let me see, 20th January. Yeah, but with this account at the moment, like even for this one in the last 30 days, to drive the revenue we want in our business, we spent, in the last 30 days alone, we spent 17,000. Just for this particular account. We have 3 AdWords accounts. Okay. And you can see the conversion rate here. You can see, the average clicks we're spending. So we're spending about 170, 170, 130, 148, 173, 230. Our leads we're getting in 340, 330. Conversion rate's about 12%. So our average conversion rate's 12%. Cost per conversion about €13. And these are just other statistics. Average cost per click is 165. So you can see, that really makes sense back here if you guys really want to grow your business. Okay, now let's look at Facebook. Okay, let's say you want to use Facebook to get all your leads. What needs to happen? Facebook tends to be slightly different statistically. Okay, so if we want to get these two here, will be the same. So we want to get 33 sales, want to get 133 leads. In order to get that over to the website on Facebook, we will need to, the leads on Facebook tend to be not as high of a quality as Google AdWords or SEO, because in Google AdWords and SEO, people are typing in what they want. Whereas on Facebook, it's a pattern interrupt. You're targeting people who are not specifically there looking for your product service, okay? So what you're trying to do is you're trying to lead them into a funnel. So for this here, we might need to get, our conversion rate here might be a lot higher. So rather than 10% of people inquiring, we might only get 3%, okay? Let me see. Yeah, so equals this, multiply that by 30 clicks. Okay, and if anyone knows anything about Facebook, okay, so we need to get nearly 4,000 clicks in order to generate that 133 leads, which will bring us that 33 in sales. Okay, and so then in Facebook, we might have to target an audience of equals that divided by an audience of 133,000. Okay. So that's the size of the audience, because we know on Facebook we only can target audience types, interest types. So that's the size of the audience. And I'm going to show you how I got that. So if we target an audience on Facebook that's 133,000, and if 3% of them, which tends to be about right, 3% would be considered an average sort of click-through rate. So we target 133,000 in the audience, because Facebook will tell us if we target a certain interest or demographic or people within a locality, and if only 3% of them clicks on it, so if we divide 3% into 133,000, we get 3,990. So let's just do that separately down here. Equals that, divide by 100, multiply that by 3, equals 3,990. So 3,990 clicks will equal 133 leads. So we'll send 3,990 people to our website, and 133 people will fill out the form. Now as you can see, the difference between Facebook SEO and AdWords is the cost, or the amount of clicks that we have to send to the website in order to get that many leads is triple what we have here. And that's because people are not on Facebook looking for your product or service. Okay, so it's costing us 3 times as much. But we will be paying them a third the price. So the clicks on Facebook is a lot cheaper. So what we're going to do here is we're only going to spend 50 cents per click. We're not going to spend the 150 like we are in Google. So we'll only spend 50 cents a click, which will then drive our 15 euro leads, which will then drive our 60 euro sales. Okay. And that's really it, guys. That's the way you need to be thinking about your digital marketing. This is something that you can literally do tomorrow morning if you wanted to drive you leads in your business. Depending on the type of business you have, what way it's going to work. But that's how you need to be working out the channels in your business in order to grow it. Okay. There's loads of channels you can break that down into. You can break it down in cold emailing, how cold emailing will work if you're a B2B, how webinars would work. Webinars will work for B2B and B2C, banner advertising, direct mail, the Dream 100, there's a few different strategies here, LinkedIn. These are all the primary ways that you can drive leads in your business. And once you have these numbers figured out, it's a case of working all the numbers to your advantage to the way that you can drive the profit, drive the leads, drive the sales, drive everything in your company that you want in order to get that end result, that 100,000 salary or the 100,000 net profit, whatever it is that you're looking to do. Okay. And so from here, when you have that all laid out, you then work out your action items. So what are you going to do first? So the first one you might do, and this is something that we now encourage all our clients to do all this first, to give them a very clear line of sight of what they need to do in order to achieve the sales they want to achieve. Okay, so task number 1, what is it? Could be do your AdWords campaign, do your Facebook campaign, your SEO campaign. Deadline, what's your deadline date? Assigned to, who's it being assigned to, and a priority on it. So what's the priority, who's going to do it, when's it going to be done by. Okay, and that's really it, guys. Like, that's the fundamentals of business. What I would be doing then, this is something that we do every week in a meeting. We go back and we see how many did we actually generate against how many we want, and we're constantly reviewing this. Now, I know I've this done on a monthly basis, but we break this down into a weekly basis. So actual growth. So what actual growth profit did we bring in? What actual leads did we bring in? What actual sales did we bring in? And then I'll see what's the difference. What's the difference down here between our actual and our KPI? Okay, what's the difference between these two? And that will allow me to dictate if we need to drive the business more that month, or if we need to maybe hold things back, or we're going a bit too hard, or whatever it is. This is my dashboard. It's allowing me to see what way the business is growing, if the business is growing at all. Okay. So guys, any questions on that? Let me see, what have we got here? So is it normal to budget 5% of income for marketing? It depends on your type of market, Sinead. If you are doing 480,000 in gross profit, yeah, I think, and you're predominantly an online business, you'd want to be definitely doing in around 24,000, especially now because Google has really pushed down the organic results, and it's really forcing you to pay for that market share. So yeah, I think 5% should be your minimum if you're doing in around 500,000. But it's like anything, don't be afraid of spending money in order to acquire customers, because it's the person who's willing, the business who's willing to spend the most money is the business that's going to grow the biggest. Once you can justify it in order to make sales, okay? Because some business owners, they don't get it. You know, if you advertise and you get a customer, all you're doing is you're paying for profit. You're paying to get their eyeballs. It's not a cost, it's an investment. You just have to know how to spend the right amount of money to get that customer. Okay? So it just wouldn't be an online business with Sinead. Any sort of business. Like if you're, honestly, if you are not willing to spend money as a business in order to acquire a customer, you don't really have a business. You'll never have in my eyes, you know, a company that you're going to be able to sell on. It's more of a lifestyle sort of business. Your sales will be very ad hoc, come and go. So definitely you need to have a certain amount of money that you're willing to spend in order to acquire a customer. You cannot grow or scale a business unless you have that number in mind. It's impossible. Okay, you're shooting in the dark. Let me see, what else have we? So is it normal to expect 20% of income to your net profit? No, it's not normal, Sinead, because most businesses will not, unless you have this as a target, you won't hit it. You'll probably do, you know, between 5 and 10%, if even that. But you should be aiming to do between, if you do 15% net profit of your gross every year, you have a good, healthy business. If you're doing anything less than that, you're not really, okay? It's not a business, you know, that you'll be able to sell for any substantial money in the years to come if you ever do, or should you want to ever sell it. Always aim for 20%. That's giving you a 5% buffer for a rainy day, for, you know, someone making a mistake in your accounts, for, you know, I used to aim for 15%, and I just found is that you're always going to run into certain challenges throughout the year that's going to really hit that bottom line. So you're better off aiming for 20-25% net gross margin, which will allow you to, gives you that buffer of 5 to 10% for any of the hiccups or any of the bumpy roads that you come along the way while you're really trying to grow the business. So James, does the CTO work for AdWords? Yeah, James. So that's the maybe you asked that question before we did the AdWords. So you have SEO, AdWords, and, you know, yeah, your CTR works for that as well. So, you know, for your AdWords, this is something you could roll out in the morning. Okay. Same with Facebook. Cold emailing, very effective strategy. Webinars, very effective. Banner advertising, very effective. I've used all these for different businesses, all very effective strategies. My probably favorite at the moment, depending on the type of business, is Facebook. It's very cheap, very easy to target B2B and B2C. I love the Dream 100 as well. Cold email, I really like, especially when it's done at scale. Webinars, I love. So yeah, depending on the type of business, you have all these different strategies work quite well, okay? So guys, any other questions on this? I know this is quite heavy stuff and everyone's just like, oh God almighty, how the hell am I ever going to do that? But again, you know, this is something that we try to get everyone in our group doing, all our paid members. I know James, I kind of touched on this before with you at our last workshop. So guys, if any are looking to, would like this spreadsheet, please pop me a message on Facebook. More than happy to give it to you. If it's a case of, you know, you do it out, you want to send it back to me to get some clarity on it, no problem at all. So yeah, just pop me. So Derek asks, what is the Dream 100? So Derek, shame on you. We did that in training. So guys, the Dream 100 is it's what the Dream 100 is. It's if you had 100 of your most ideal customers, how would you get them? Okay. What is this, the systems, process, tactics, strategies you would put in place to get your 100 most, dream customers? So, Derek, you, for example, I know, you're a physio, so, your dream 100 customers could be, let's say, you might be looking to get in with a few doctors, sports teams around Mullingar. And it's putting in a very strategic strategy in order to get in their door, I suppose, and to build a relationship with them. So what you essentially do is you make a list of, let's say, 20 to 50 of your most ideal prospects of doctors or of county boards or whatever it is, and then you make a list of all the key decision makers within that business. Okay, and then you work out a very strategic and tactical strategy that's going to allow you to get in the door with them. And that can be down to, and this could be something that's going to take a year. It's something that you're going to keep working at, chipping at. It could be a case you bring them out for dinner, you bring them out for a beer, you send them stuff in the post, but you keep, no matter how many times they slam the door in your face, no matter how many times they say, no, we don't need you right now, we're quite happy, you keep chipping away at doing different creative strategies in order to get in the door with them. It's a really, really powerful strategy when it's done right, when it's done correctly, and you have a very powerful and creative strategy behind it. It's pretty cool. So guys, any other questions on that? No other questions. So guys, if the spreadsheet is something you want, hit me up on Facebook and I will send you a copy of this. I'll send you the link. You can make your own master copy, or you can just duplicate it out. What we will also do is we will upload this training so you guys can go back over it in order to figure this all out, to the stuff that you need to do in order to grow your business. Okay. So again, this is something that we do inside the group for our guys, and it's something that I look to try and review for anyone that's in the paid members area. So guys, if there's no other questions on that, again, anyone that wants the spreadsheet, just pop me a message on Facebook. And anyone that's already in our paid members group, I'll be just sticking it up inside the group and with the YouTube video, and you guys can have a look at it. If we don't have any other questions, I'm going to leave it. So just one person has asked, what's the paid members group? So Joe, that's actually where we go in, and the few of the guys who are on this call is where we will do stuff like this with you on a bi-weekly basis in order to grow your business, different strategies and tactics. So what it is, Joe, pretty much I'll help you do this out for you. We'll work out all your action items here, your deadlines, your who's going to be signed to, the priority, what it's going to take to grow your business. So if you want to make 100,000 salary in your business, Joe, how is that going to be achieved? And we work these out, so you can do this out yourself initially, not because I'm going to do it for you, because this is probably the most important, critical thinking and learning you could possibly do as a business owner. And then you can fire it across to me. I'll have a look at it, or we'll get one of our guys in the office to have a look at it, see how realistic is it, because all these channels here, we know the numbers in these channels. Very, very few people out there know these like we do, because we've done them. Every one of these strategies, I know the numbers that you should be working towards, and then it's a case of working them in order to figure out what needs to happen. Okay, so sure, look, if you're interested in signing up for that, just pop me a message on Facebook. I can give you some other details on it and send you on to one or two links. Okay, cool guys. So What is your opinion on network marketing companies? Donna, I'm not very fond of network marketing, to be honest. It's just my personal opinion on it. Yeah, so it's not something I'd really delve into. It's just I'm not a big fan of network marketing. So guys, if anyone else is interested in getting a few details on the group, on the Entrepreneur Success Group, that you'd like some help in doing this out, on trying to implement this in your business, getting a very good strategy together in order to grow your business this year, and getting all your priorities quite straight, and having us holding you accountable to actually hitting them and achieving them, definitely give me a shout and we can see what we can do to help. If it's a business we think you can't really grow through online marketing, or it's a dead end sort of business, we'll have no interest in it. It's we're in this to try and help businesses grow, and that's what we're here to do. So guys, if no other questions, I'm going to leave it like that. Over and out. And yeah, for anyone that wants to the spreadsheet, just pop me a message on Facebook. Okay, great guys. Listen, thanks very much for your time. Great having you here this evening. Thanks very much for giving up an hour of your evening. I really appreciate it. For anyone that was quiet on the call, pop me a message on Facebook. Great to have you. I see some people there that I know that are very quiet, which I'm surprised. Nicola, you're one. So guys, talk to you all very soon. Thanks very much and take it easy. Cheers. Thanks. Bye-bye.